All right, so we're back for another deep dive, and this one was actually a listener request.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they wanted us to take a look at this this video by Peter Zeiha, you know, the
Yeah.
geopolitical analyst guy.
Geopolitical rock star.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And specifically, this video is all about...
Oh, is this the one about U.S. foreign policy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I saw that one.
It's a long one.
It is. It's a bit of a doozy.
Yeah. So our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to kind of unpack all of his predictions,
prognostication,
and try to dissect them.
Yeah, and see if they hold water.
Exactly. And I got to say, watching this video, I did get the sense that
oh, here we go.
maybe
I'll you just say it.
His views might be a little
colored by his feelings about a certain former president.
a touch, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a touch. The TDS is strong with this one.
The TDS, well, yeah. A lot of people have been saying that about him, but
yeah. You know, let's try to be fair. Let's try to be objective.
Okay, fair enough. Let's give him the benefit of doubt.
Yeah. So his main argument is that basically the U.S. is kind of stepping away from its role as, like, you know,
world police, global leader.
Yeah, all of that, yeah.
Benevolent head
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And he's saying we're ditching this whole globalization thing. We're ditching alliances.
Yeah, he called it neo-isolationism.
Yeah, neo-isolationism, that's the word.
Which, I mean, come on. That's a pretty big statement.
Right, it is a big statement.
To just, like, slap that label on everything? I don't know.
And he uses, like, the last 4 presidencies as evidence.
Oh, right.
So we've got Obama, Trump, Biden.
Trump
again. Yeah, he sees that as like a clear pattern.
Yeah.
Like a total break from, you know, how we did things during the Cold War.
Right. Yep.
That whole global presence containment thing. Yeah.
It's like he thinks we've completely flipped the script.
But is it really that simple? I mean,
right.
You know,
I'm not so sure.
To just call it all
yeah, to lump it all together like that.
Neo-isolationism feels a bit simplistic.
Yeah, but reductive maybe?
Yeah, reductive, yeah. Because it doesn't really account for
the nuances of each administration.
Right, exactly.
Like they all had their own thing going on.
Yeah, their own priorities, their own approaches.
Yeah.
It's not just like a straight line from point A to point B.
No, it's way more complicated than that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lot more messy than that.
Yeah. And, you know, take this idea that the U.S. is like retreating from the world. I mean, come on. We're still deeply involved in, like, the Middle East. We're still actively supporting Ukraine. It's not like we just packed up and went home.
Right.
It's more like we're shifting our focus a little bit.
Right. It's like recalibrating, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Recalibrating.
It's not a complete withdrawal.
No. It's like, you know, maybe we're just spending a little less time on certain things.
Right.
But that doesn't mean we've, like, checked out completely.
Right. It's like saying, oh, I'm spending less time on social media, therefore I'm a hermit.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, not really.
The world is way more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
Zeiha loves his historical comparisons, too.
Oh, yeah, he loves those.
He does.
He goes way back.
Yeah, and in this video, he's saying that, like, we're going back to this pre-World War II kind of inconsistency where each president just, like, comes in and flicks the script.
Based on their own, like, personal agenda?
Exactly, like whatever their pet project is.
Right, yeah.
And he uses dollar diplomacy as an example.
Right, which, for our listeners who might not be familiar with dollar diplomacy.
Yeah, it's basically this idea that, like, powerful individuals can just call the shots on foreign policy.
Yeah.
Based on their own interests.
Exactly. And that can lead to, like, all sorts of unplanned military interventions and stuff.
Right.
Which, you know, has definitely happened in the past.
It has, yeah. I mean, you can't deny that.
No, but to say that we're just, like, going back to that pattern ignores, like, all the changes that have happened since then.
Right.
Like, we have institutions now. We have checks and balances.
Right.
It's not just like the Wild West anymore.
It's not just some guy,
right,
you know, in a smoky room making all the decisions.
Exactly. It's way more complicated than that.
Yeah. There's a whole bureaucracy now.
There's a process.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not perfect, but it's something.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's definitely more evolved than it was back then.
Definitely. And then there's the whole question of, like, the military.
Right.
And how that fits into all of this.
Right, yeah. He suggests that it's going to become more of a reactive tool. Less of a long-term strategy thing.
Right. More like a fire brigade.
Yeah, just putting out fires as they pop up.
Yeah.
Which is, that's kind of a scary thought, right?
It is, yeah. Because if we're not thinking strategically about how we use military force, then we could end up with these really erratic actions on the world stage.
Right. Just reacting to crises instead of trying to prevent them.
Yeah, exactly. And that ties into this this observation he makes about how the military is viewed within the U.S.
Within the U.S. Yeah, he says there's this growing disconnect between the political parties and the military.
Yeah.
Neither Democrats nor Republicans are really taking advantage of, military expertise when they're making foreign policy.
Right. They're not really consulting the experts.
Exactly.
And that's something that I can actually see some truth in.
Yeah.
I do feel like there's this lack of experience in key decision-making positions, which could lead to, repeating past mistakes.
Yeah, for sure. But I also think there's a danger in oversimplifying the issue.
Right.
The world has changed a lot since World War II.
It has.
We're dealing with a much more complex set of threats now.
Right.
You've got terrorism, you've got cyber warfare, you've got climate change. It's not just about tanks and nukes anymore.
No, it's a simple bipolar world anymore.
No, it's not. So this one-size-fits-all approach to foreign policy might not be the answer.
Yeah, it might not cut it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be...
we need to be a little more
nuanced.
A little more...
adaptable. Flexible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
More flexible.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, I think Zeiha makes some interesting points, but I'm not sure I'm buying everything he's selling. Yeah, I think we need to dig a little deeper.
Dig a little deeper, yeah.
Yeah, unpack this a little bit more.
Unpack it, for sure.
And see if his predictions really hold up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here? What's the next layer of the onion?
Well, I think we need to look at some alternative perspectives.
Okay, yeah.
Get some other viewpoints on this.
Get a broader view.
See if Zeihan's just, cherry picking data to fit his narrative.
Right.
Which, let's be honest, a lot of analysts do that.
They do.
It's kind of their thing.
It's their bread and butter.
Yeah.
They got to make it sound exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we need to be critical thinkers here.
Critical thinkers.
We need to question everything.
Yeah.
And come to our own conclusions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about.
That's what the deep dive is all about.
The deep dive, baby.
Yeah. All right, so let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and we'll really start dissecting this thing.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
All right. It's easy to kind of get swept up in Zeihan's whole doom and gloom scenario.
Right. Yeah, it's very
apocalyptic.
Yeah, it's very apocalyptic, and it's very America's on the decline.
Right.
The rest of the world is, rising up.
Eating our lunch.
Yeah. But you got to ask yourself, is he letting his
biases
just
a little bit,
maybe get in the way of his judgment a little bit,
especially when it comes to
especially when it comes to
anything Trump related.
Anything Trump related.
It's whoa, boy, okay.
Yeah, he's not a fan.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
You're not a fan.
He's made that very clear.
Yeah, he's not subtle about it.
No, not at all.
But yeah, I think it does feel that way sometimes. He spends so much time highlighting all of America's supposed weaknesses that he doesn't really acknowledge any of its strengths.
Yeah, and we still have a lot of strengths.
We do.
We still have the most powerful military in the world.
By far.
By far. Yeah.
Come on.
Nobody even comes close.
And he just kind of brushes that aside.
Yeah, he just glosses over that.
It's hello, what about this giant 800-pound gorilla in the room?
Yeah, the elephant in the room, the aircraft carrier in the room, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. This is a big thing.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And he also doesn't really talk about our network of alliances.
Yeah, all those partnerships that we have.
Yeah, all the friends we've got around the world.
The network
of allies and partners.
That gives us global reach.
Right. Which, let's be real, no other country has that.
No other country has that.
China's trying.
Yeah, they're trying, but they're not there yet.
They're not even close.
Not even close.
No.
So he kind of dismisses all of that like it's just
Yeah, like it's just some relic of the past.
Yeah, like it's irrelevant.
Yeah, but those alliances are a major source of leverage and influence for the U.S.
Yeah, they are.
Like, that's how we get things done in the world.
They help us project power.
Yeah.
They help us...
They help us achieve our foreign policy goals.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not just about hard power either.
Right.
You know, like military power.
Yeah, there's soft power, too.
Yeah, soft power.
Which he also completely ignores.
Yeah, he doesn't even mention that.
Yeah.
But like American culture.
Yeah.
American ideas. American values.
All that stuff.
All of that. It still holds a lot of sway around the world.
It does.
People still, you know, they want to watch American movies. They want to listen to American music.
Yeah, they want to wear American jeans.
You want to wear American jeans.
Like, come on. That's a thing.
It's a thing.
And that's something you can't just, like, quantify on a spreadsheet.
No, you can't put a number on that.
It's intangible, but it's real.
It's real.
And it matters.
Yeah. So I think what we're seeing is not so much a decline of American power.
Right.
But more like a diffusion of power.
Yeah, I think that's a better way to put it.
Yeah. Like, we might not be the lone superpower anymore, but we're still a major player.
Yeah, we're still a big player.
On a multipolar world stage.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the world's got more complicated. There are more players now.
Yeah, there are more players. There are
more centers of power.
Centers of power, yeah.
It's not just us and the Soviets anymore.
Right, right.
It's a lot more messy and fluid.
And that means we need to adapt.
Yes.
We need to adapt our foreign policy.
We can't just keep doing the same old thing.
To this new reality.
And expect it to work.
Yeah.
Like, the world has changed.
Right.
We need to change with it.
It's about finding new ways to cooperate and compete in a world that's a lot more interconnected than it used to be.
Not ever before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So he makes this other provocative claim.
Okay. Lay it on me.
Yeah. He says that we should just abandon our commitment to free trade and globalization.
Hold on. He's saying we should just throw the whole system out the window.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's radical.
He's saying that that it's hurt the American middle class.
Okay.
And that it's benefited rivals like China.
Right, right.
And he suggests that we should take a more protectionist approach.
Okay, so basically go back to building walls around our economy.
Yeah, focus on rebuilding domestic manufacturing and kind of putting America first.
Yeah, America first, but on steroids?
Yeah, on steroids.
Okay, I mean, I get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
There have definitely been some negative consequences of globalization.
Right, there have been some downsides.
Yeah. But to say that we should just abandon it altogether seems a bit extreme, don't you think?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it could lead to a whole bunch of other problems.
Right.
Like higher prices for consumers.
Yeah, because suddenly we're not getting all those cheap goods from overseas anymore.
Right.
And less competition.
Yeah.
Which is not good for innovation.
Right.
And slower economic growth.
Yeah.
I mean, globalization has actually brought a lot of benefits to the U.S. economy.
It has, yeah. I mean, it's opened up new markets for American companies. It's made goods and services more affordable for consumers.
Right. I mean, think about how much cheaper everything is now than it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That's partly because of globalization.
Yeah.
So, I think we need to be careful about throwing the baby out with the bathwater here.
Right, right. Of course, globalization has its challenges.
It does.
There are valid concerns about, its impact on certain industries and the need for a more equitable global trading system.
Right. We need to make sure that everyone's benefiting.
Right.
Not just the corporations.
Yeah, not just the top 1%.
Exactly. But throwing the whole system out the window is not the answer.
It's not the answer.
No.
So.
All right. So what else does Zeiha have to say?
Well, he also talks about the U.S. political system.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Yeah. And he doesn't paint a very pretty picture.
I bet he doesn't.
No. He basically says that it's broken and dysfunctional.
Yeah.
That both parties are too extreme and focused on short-term gains.
Right, right.
And that this prevents them from governing effectively.
Yeah.
Or addressing long-term challenges.
It's all about,
winning the next election.
Yeah, right.
Not about, what's actually good for the country.
Exactly. Exactly. And he argues that this
dysfunction.
Yeah, this dysfunction
really affects our foreign policy.
Yeah, it makes it hard for us to present a unified front to the world.
Right.
And it makes it harder to build the kind of bipartisan consensus that you need for a truly effective foreign policy.
Yeah, you need everyone on board.
Yeah.
If you want to, like, actually get things done on the world stage.
Right, right. And, you know, he's not entirely wrong there.
No. I mean, he does have a point.
Yeah, U.S. politics has become increasingly
polarized. Yeah.
Gridlocked.
It's a mess.
It is a mess.
It's like nobody can agree on anything.
Yeah, it's like everyone's just yelling at each other.
Yeah, and nothing gets done.
Yeah.
And that definitely affects our foreign policy.
Yeah, it makes us look weak.
Yeah.
And indecisive.
And unreliable.
And unreliable.
Yeah.
Which is not a good look. Not a good look at all.
Especially when you're trying to be a global leader.
Right. You need to project strength.
Yeah.
And confidence.
And consistency.
And consistency, yeah.
And we're not really doing that right now.
No, we're not.
No. So
what's the solution?
Well, that's the thing. What does Zeiha say?
He doesn't really offer any realistic solutions.
So he's just like...
Yeah, it's like he's just complaining.
Complaining about the problem.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have any answers.
No answers.
It's not very helpful.
No, not very helpful at all.
Like, it's easy to point out the flaws.
Yeah.
But it's a lot harder to come up with, like, actual solutions.
Right. It's like he longs for this simpler time.
Yeah.
When politics was less partisan and more focused on...
the national interest.
The national interest, yeah. But is that even possible?
I don't know.
In today's political climate?
I mean, I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
But I'm not holding my breath. I don't know. I have my doubts.
Yeah.
The world has changed too much.
It has.
And the U.S. political system is just, like, too entrenched.
Too entrenched in its ways.
In its current state.
Yeah.
It's like, we need a new approach.
You need a new way of thinking.
Yeah.
About politics.
About politics and foreign policy in the 21st century.
Yeah, we can't just keep doing the same things and expect different results.
Exactly.
So Zeiha brings up U.S. demographics.
Yeah.
It's always a fun topic.
He loves demographics.
He does.
He loves talking about population trends.
Yeah, and he's arguing that, like, the U.S. is facing this demographic decline.
Yeah, he's pointing to the aging population and the falling birth rate.
Right.
And he's suggesting that this is going to have, like, a really negative impact on the U.S. economy and the military.
Oh, okay. But is he being too pessimistic again?
Maybe. I mean, it's true that our population is aging.
Yeah.
But we're still relatively young. Yeah. Compared to a lot of our competitors.
Compared to, like, Europe and Japan.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, you know, we have a long history of successfully integrating immigrants.
Right. We're a nation of immigrants. That's kind of our thing.
That's our thing.
Yeah.
So that can help offset the effects of a declining birth rate.
Right. So it's not necessarily a death sentence?
No, not at all.
It's just something we need to be aware of.
Yeah. We need to be smart about it.
And plan for it.
Exactly.
Okay. So what about China?
China.
Zeiha's favorite punching bag.
Yeah, he loves to talk about China.
He does. And he's predicting that China's going to collapse.
Yeah, he's going all in on this one.
Like full-on collapse.
Yeah, he's saying that they've got all this mounting debt. Their economic growth is slowing down. They have a rapidly aging population.
Right. All those things are true.
Yeah.
But collapse.
Collapse.
That's a bold statement.
It is a bold statement.
I mean, China's got a lot of problems.
Yeah, they do.
But they're also, like, a very resilient country.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time.
They've been through a lot.
They
always seem to, like, find a way to bounce back.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I'm buying the whole collapse scenario.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
It's possible, yeah.
But it's not a foregone conclusion.
No, not at all.
I think we need to be cautious about accepting Zeiha's predictions without considering the full picture.
Without considering all the nuances.
Exactly.
Yeah.
China's a complex country with a lot of moving parts. So, you know, it's not as simple as Zeiha makes it sound.
No, it's never that simple.
Never that simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so where does that leave us?
Oh.
So we've spent, like, a lot of time, you know, picking apart Zeiha's argument.
Yeah, we've been pretty tough on him.
We have, but, you know, it's worth pointing out that he's not, like, all doom and gloom. Like, he does have some interesting insights.
He does.
Especially when he talks about the importance of, like, domestic renewal for a strong foreign policy.
Right.
Like, that's an interesting point, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You see, he's basically saying that you can't really lead effectively on the world stage if you're, like, grappling with all these problems at home.
Right, exactly.
You know, if your own house is not in order.
Yeah, you got to get your own house in order first before you can start telling other people what to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
And he talks about, like, the need to tackle things like income inequality, infrastructure problems.
Our crumbling infrastructure.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Our failing education system.
Yeah, all the internal problems that we have.
Right, all the challenges that we're facing here at home.
Yeah.
And it makes sense when you think about it.
It does, it does.
Like, a country's true strength comes from within.
Yeah, you're only as strong as your foundation.
Exactly.
And if that foundation is crumbling, then the whole structure is going to eventually collapse.
Exactly.
So, you know, if the U.S. wants to be a global leader in the 21st century, we need to address these internal challenges first.
Right. We need to get our own act together.
Yeah.
That's the foundation for a strong and resilient nation.
Exactly.
That can then effectively engage with the rest of the world.
Yeah, it all starts at home.
It all starts at home, yeah.
All right, so I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Yeah, I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have. We've explored Zeihan's predictions about the decline of U.S. power,
the rise of new global players,
the potential for conflict,
the need for a more assertive foreign policy.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, we've really gone deep.
We have.
But we've also raised some serious questions.
Yeah, definitely.
About his assumptions and conclusions.
We've poked some holes in his arguments.
Yeah, we've done some poking for sure.
But, you know, that's what we do here on the Deep Dive.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, we're not afraid to challenge the conventional wisdom.
No, we're not afraid to ask the tough questions.
Exactly.
And to think critically about the information that we're presented with.
Because, let's be real, the future isn't predetermined.
No, it's not set in stone.
There are a lot of different paths that we could take.
Right, we have choices to make.
And those choices will shape the course of events.
Exactly.
So, you know, instead of getting bogged down in Zeihan's pessimistic outlook, I think we should focus on having these, like, thoughtful discussions.
Yeah, engaging in constructive dialogue.
About the best path forward.
For the U.S.
For the U.S., for the world.
For the world, yeah.
And that means considering a wide range of perspectives.
Right, not just Zeihan's.
Not just Zeihan's, but, you know, a whole bunch of different viewpoints.
Exactly. Exactly.
So be open to new ideas.
Challenge your own assumptions.
And form your own informed opinions.
That's how we create a foreign policy that truly serves the best interests of the American people.
And contributes to a more stable and prosperous world.
Exactly.
All right. That's it for this deep dive into Peter Zeihan's predictions.
Yeah, that's all the time we have for today.
But the conversation doesn't end here.
No, it doesn't. Keep thinking about these issues.
Keep learning.
Keep engaging.
And keep challenging yourself.
And most importantly, stay curious.
Stay curious, yeah.
All right, thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.